Alright, great. Let's do some Tai Chi. Let's start in Tai Chi harmony. So allow your feet to touch. Bring your head top up. Bring your hands together in the center. And then, quick calibration. Pull the head top up, relax your brow, open the vision, open your nostrils, activate the corners of the mouth, half smile, minimum, relax your jaw, connect the tongue to the upper palate, keep your chin tucked, line up your ears with your shoulders, the shoulders roll back, completely relaxed, leave a space in the armpit, in the elbow, so it feels open, expanded. The same with the chest. Chest is hollow. Using the center to support, relax your lower back, allow it to sink and also expand. Fold the insides of the hips, and while we're here, while we're breathing, lifting the base of the torso, lifting the pelvic floor on inhale or exhale, and relaxing on the opposite. The knees have a bend in them. Flex your ankles. So strengthen your ankles. Pull your heel in. Pull the outside edge of your foot in. Grip your toes. Try to have the top of your foot gripping and the bottom of your feet relaxed somehow. Take a deep breath. Relax. We're going to start with some Qigong. So, breathing. And while we're doing this, think about all of the ideas that we had just talked about. So if you can just stand in place as such, but if you're going up and sinking down, keeping the toes gripped, keeping the tailbone sinking, make sure your hips are level. Go at your own pace. We've never really analyzed this exercise too much, but there's a palm change when we come up the center. The forearms, as if they're connected at the middle finger, right around the sternum, start to change and they roll forward. And then this top part reaching like a stretch. And then expand your shoulders, reach all the way out. And then unroll the forearms 180 to press up. Do two more from wherever you're at, and when you finish, return to Tai Chi harmony. Next, let's stretch a little bit. Lock your shoulders in place, and then turning your head. Start with small circles. Most importantly, feel as if you're stretching, pressing your head top up. So as if you could pull up from the top or press up from the inside So turn first some small circles. Change direction. Come back to the center. Shoulder rolls. So for these, make these as large as you can, and try to use as if we're doing this like a type of yoga, and you want to relax your chest, the ribs, shoulders, and use all of that to make your shoulder roll. With the same deep breathing that we started with. Change directions, going the other way. And then alternate. When we alternate, lock your hips in place, and the same thing with the jawline. Keep your jaw and hips square to the front. Turn just your shoulder and then pull it up past your ear. Center, past the ear. Same thing, see if you can extend the range of movement and increase the amount of relaxation. Come back to the center. Next, we're going to turn. So make your feet stable. Grip your feet on the ground. Sink your tailbone to anchor yourself. And then turning. Make sure you have space around so you don't hit anything. Shifting. Come back to the center. Next, folding forward. Grip your feet. Relax your spine, your shoulders, your arms, your neck, your head. Let everything go with gravity. Remember to breathe while you're upside down. Take a second here. When you're ready, grip your feet to anchor yourself to the ground and bring your chi to the bottom. Then we're going to inhale, inflating all the way up, and then relax. We're going to do that one more time. So take at least shoulder width wide stance, and then push your tailbone back and away, relax your spine, your shoulders. And a lot of people try to look up to the screen. Relax your head and neck. Remember to breathe. And see if you can relax your back to the point of feeling the energy move. When you're ready, grip the ground. Use your core, your stomach. Relax your spine. Expand all the way up. And relax. Let's turn a few hip circles. So you see I'm standing on a square. I can imagine that I'm hitting all 4 points of the square. Like the corner of my hip is going to each corner, but you can do a circle as well. Change directions if you haven't already. And are you still doing the continuous breathing, the long breathing that we started with? Next, if I make my step shoulder width wide and shoulder width deep, from here I'm gonna fold the inside of my hip and use my leg for support, keeping these in line. and then reaching forward to stretch. Two things to do with your head or neck is either right now I'm looking up or extend it forward, one or the other. Either turn it up with the purpose of stretching or stretch it forward with the intention of stretching. Pull your toe up towards your nose, breathing deep. When you're ready, push forward. Take a deep breath. Same thing on the other side, shoulder width wide, shoulder width deep, folding this inside hip. Turn your toe up. Push forward. Take a deep breath. We're going to do that one more time on each side. And when we do that, this sort of smaller frame step for this stretch allows you to have control over how deep you stretch. So this time when we practice, just extending the stretch, fold the inside of the hip, keep your spine straight, and then once you feel comfortable, sink your tailbone, grip your feet on your standing foot, sink a little bit lower and you'll feel the stretch more. Reach your arm out, breathing deep, stretch your back as well. When you're ready, just push forward. The other side. The same thing, pull your toe up, breathe deep, stretch, and then grip your standing foot and sink your tailbone. Feel the stretch just a little bit more. Push forward, take a deep breath. Okay, before we do some Tai Chi, let's do one exercise together. So if I make my feet shoulder width wide, and I turn to each side, I'm just turning 180. You can mirror the camera. You can do the same side. So I'm just turning one arm, and the other arm is going to follow. So almost as if I'm just doing this. Like you're holding something and you're turning left to right. This is all in the waist, which means above the, if the pelvis turns, it's only slightly. You should not feel this in your knees. If you do, relax your tailbone, grip your feet. And then change the hands. So one side is leading and the other side is following. And this lower hand can be palm down or palm up. Come back to the center, focus your breathing. And then now when we practice this, keep your spine not only straight, but stable. So shifting your center line between one foot and the other foot. And the whole time we're turning the forearms. Looks like grasp the sparrow's tail. Looks like hook and single whip. Breathing deep. Go back to the center. Let's actually return to Tai Chi Harmony before we continue. Pull the head top up, relax the brow, open the vision, expand the nostrils and the sinuses, the front of the face, connect the tongue to the upper palate, the teeth rest in their natural position, relax your jaw, chin is tucked, sink the shoulders, activate the corners of the mouth, chest is hollow, armpits, elbows, wrists hollow, center is supporting, the back is unrolled and expanded, tailbone sinking, knees have a bend, inside of the hips are folded, the feet are fully expanded like the shape of a mountain inside of your shoe. Activate your toes, open the soles of your feet, take a deep breath. So what we were practicing a second ago, this is a Chan Si exercise. And Chan Si Jing is the concept of silk reeling. So like a caterpillar that makes the silk, or like a spider that makes the silk, you can think of reeling something. This is continuous motion. And when we practice Tai Chi, we want to have this same continuous motion, smooth from one side to the other, whether the palm is down or whether the palm is scooping or scooping this way. So when we practice, there's a turn in the forearm. In every posture, the forearms change. Some more obvious than others. When we're here, and the forearms change in four corners. Great example. So we're going to focus on the third section today, but I have a request. Somebody requested, they said, can we not just start at the beginning of the third section? Can we like rewind a little bit and start from somewhere in the second section? And that's what we're going to do. So we're going to start at the end of the second section before there's a nicknamed, some students calling it the 3 kicks. And we'll continue through the third section, either up to cloud hands or maybe to the end. Let's see how we feel when we get there. So, if you see where my square is, I'm going to start facing west. So if I start in Tai Chi Harmony, when I open, I'm going to step shoulder width wide. I'm going to expand like I'm doing Lan, and then punching right to the center. From here, I'm shifting back, opening my foot, reaching under, keeping my arms round to peel off. This is Zohua. This is nicknamed Big Rollback, but it's part of Embrace Tiger, facing east. And then the same Big Rollback, Embrace Tiger, facing west. Turning our square, turning our focus to the southwest. This is searching for the moon in the sea. Wind blowing in the ears. Still facing southwest. Pull left. Kick left. Turn. 2, 3, 60. Still facing southwest. Pull right. Kick right. Turning 45 degrees to the west. Block punch kick. Long. Jue Bi, 四力. Turning 90 degrees to the north, this is return tiger to mountain. Bring your right foot to the left foot key step, right foot square step due south, palm press to the center, return to deep breathing when you roll back. Press, push, left, that's right, schwung on, double press, horizontal split hands, turns our square 90 degrees, facing east, we have hook, this is side whip, parallel whip, and then from here this is wild horse, parting its mane, 1, wild horse, parting its mane, 2, wild horse, parting its mane, 3. Breathe deep, roll back. Press, double press. Horizontal split hands turns us 90 degrees from east to north. This is hook, side whip, Yu Yuan Chonso, Jade Lady. First corner, looking, turning. Second corner, looking, avoid, make contact, advance. Third corner, looking first, turn, corner number 4. Left, grasp the sparrow's tail, right, press, squeeze, push, left, glance right, double press, horizontal, split hands, we're facing north again, hook, this is corner whip, so I'm turning. This is snake, creeps down, and when we return, come back to the center, grip your standing foot, Jinji Dui, and on the other side, Jinji Dui. This next part is just like the second section. Repulse the monkey. 1, repulse the monkey. 2, repulse the monkey. 3, opening to the side. This is Sherfei. Diagonal flying. This is needle at the bottom of the seat. In the third section, the left hand is doing the thing. San Tong Bei. Turning, block, punch, kick, square step, lan, shui. Just like the second section, keep your head top up. This is Di Bu Hua. Change step, roll back, press, left, glance right, double press. Horizontal, split hands. We're facing north. Hook. The last one went to the corner. This one goes to the side. This is cloud hands in the third section. Press right. Press left. Right. Left. Right. Left. Hook. Corner whip, turning to the west. And then from here, sink back. The right hand covers. This is snake, flashing his tongue, turning east, pull right, kick right, cross kick, don't worry, square step, brush low, punch low. This is half Dibouhua. Change step, breathe deep, roll back. Press. Push. Look left. Glance right. Double press. Horizontal. Split hands. Hook. This is a corner whip. This is the second. Snake creeps down, and this time when we return to the west, rolling up, called step up to 7 stars. We're going to turn 90 degrees to the north for Shuansen Kwahu. Don't worry, we're almost there. 180 to the south for Bailian. Stepping back, Wongbok Suhu, open the bow to shoot a tiger. Turn 90, block, punch, kick, square step, long. Shui, you know that Rufeng, Si Bi means we're at the end of the third section. Return tiger to mountain. Block, punch right, punch left, bring your left foot back to the right. Take a deep breath. Okay, questions, thoughts, comments, ideas. So, today I want to talk about a few things. One thing I want to talk about is Jue Bi, which happens just after 4 corners. And the best way that I can think about describing this is like a left grasp, the sparrow's tail, and a right press combined into one movement. Let's see if we can see here, right? So if this is my opponent, this is off the ground here, some height. If they're reaching, and if that's higher, the concept is I want to catch this, either if it's a weapon, if it's a stick, or if it's their arm. I don't think you could potentially use this against the leg, but the concept is I'm using grasp the sparrow's tail to initiate a small rollback with my left side. So as the power is coming towards me, I want to circle around it until I find the right place to lock. And this other hand is going to also, just like grasp the sparrow's tail, working around the elbow joint, turning here, and going to press. So the idea, if I'm facing the camera from my square, my opponent is attacking my center. I've just done this posture, I want to coil this area to catch. And once I've caught, I'm going to apply pressure. So we're making a type of balance between the other person's structure here and this place that we catch somewhere between the wrist and the elbow. And in doing that, we want to coil their arm and press. And then from there, it goes right into what we would consider G, which is squeeze this thing. Sometimes I refer to it as press. Sometimes it's written about as press. So what if we went from four corners, press this way, four corners to roll back? Kind of similar. But from here, we're going straight to, and the translation, the English translation for this in our text forms calls it stick arm. And my guess is that translation is because we're using this arm in a sort of stiff, stick-like fashion to press down, right? Because the other opponent's reaching, we catch their arm, twist it, and then press the uncomfortable way against the backside of the elbow, right? So stick arm. And this is, by the way, if you feel like it, once you see the dynamic, because if it's like this here, and I'm here, and I go to catch this, once I've caught it and turned it over to expose the elbow, pressing all my weight through my palm, right? And doing that by, with a jump. Is it a jump or is it like a type of high step onto the joint? In any case, Jue Bi. So from the corner, we have, I call this left grasp, the sparrow's tail, square step forward, pressing. It's like a crossbody type movement. And then as my other foot comes forward, my arm is defending first, right into squeeze, push, so on and so forth. So Jue Bi. If it's confusing, you can do a rollback in that place. But then later it's going to be left grasp the sparrow's tail, right press down instead of left press forward. Jue Bi, stick arm. Something else I want to mention from last week as well is we started talking about snake creeping down, the first part of snake creeping down. And that's coming off of the hook and diagonal width to the corner. So this one, and this is, like I said, where I like to take a longer step, because on my return I can do the fancy sort of Tai Chi thing, right? So when power is coming from this angle, I want to match its speed, cover it from up top, turn to send it, not that way, but down. And that's what I wanted to talk about today. I'm going to use the stick, is send it down. And then when I come back across, this is where we can get into this Tai Chi. You see, if you go to type Tai Chi in Google search images, they always have this. So in our return trip from snake creeps down from the first one, here, pulling across. And the reason is because this movement can be used to attack the ankle. For anybody that's into wrestling, when you shoot in, you want to attack the other person's structure. So, and in like a Bagua, this would be called swallow skims the water. It's meant to be fast. You're getting in underneath your opponent and back up before your structure can be compromised. So, but you don't need to practice that way. From the hook, corner, I'll use the square. I'll stay within the square, small step. Hook, turning 90, whip, snake creeping down, coming across. you practice to the level of your ability. So don't try to do the deep posture if your body doesn't support it. So that's the one part, which is that I wanted to talk about today. After we have hook and whip, after we make the power here, this return can be very generic or can be very dynamic. We want to get inside the opponent's defenses and get up here for the next thing. But for the first part of snake creeping down, we have a whip on the end of our whip stick. What I want to show is that power, if it's a stick coming in, right? If I have a stick coming towards me, power's coming in. The concept is that I'm coupling my power underneath as such. So as it's coming, I want to match its speed to be able to determine where it's at. And then I want to cover it to make sure that it can't get away. And then from here, the stick will be easy for us to see the power dynamic. Is when I pull this across, I'm not trying to send it that way. That's not enough power. We're going to use gravity to help us. So as I pull this across, I'm sending it down. And if this were an open space, maybe sometime when we're practicing outside, the feeling is that this stick will roll. So if the power comes in and I catch and I send it this way, and later this goes into a type of Fa Jing training, power expression, like a person that can shoot billiards and they hit a trick shot because they can spin the ball or hit a particular point that's going to cause it to bounce a different way. The same thing once we become experienced with push hands or these martial arts applications. You can take a heavy weight and control when do you want to just send it right to the ground, splat? Or do you want to send it tumbling? Do you want to send it right to the wall? And you'll be able to steer it. But the most, my teacher said the most is sending straight down. So this arc, you're connecting to their power. And then once they've committed, then you send it with gravity right to the base. And on that trail, you can release at any point. But for the maximum, you set it down, right vertically. So that's let's practice it a few times if we're standing. I'll do 3 smaller ones and 3 larger ones from hook. And I step to the corner, single whip, snake creeping down, turning 90, and then returning back to the center. Let's do that again. We have hook, corner whip, turn 90, pulling across and down, and coming back up through the center. Let's do that one more time. Turn, hook and whip, snake creeping down, and returning back to the center. My other hand, by the way, is down here for this one. Let me face the other direction so you can see. And you can practice hook, corner whip, snake, creeping down. This hand is to protect the center, right? But it's a little bit. Let's go from this direction. Hook, corner whip, snake, creeping down, coming back. And this is at the corner of the hip, not to the side, not in the front, here. And so what is this next part? Well, I had just gotten done talking about, let's do the larger frame and we'll examine this from a deeper posture. So if I use the square hook and I step larger than the square and I do my single whip and then I make the snake creeping down here, following the inside of the leg. my hand reaching forward, and then here changing, Jinji Gui. This is one way to do it. Let's go again. Hook. Large corner whip. Snake creeping down, coming across the diagonal, and then returning to the west, to the center, here. This other hand, same thing, corner of the hip. Again. Hook. Step. Open. Pull the weight across your shoulder like you're throwing something. And then come back up to the center. One more time. Hook. Corner whip. Pull across. Go back to the center. So, earlier we had said that these Tai Chi postures, most of the time they're independent of each other. They serve as an example of one particular type of power or movement, but sometimes they can be connected. And in this particular case, when we're doing snake creeps down, the return movement is sometimes connected to the same person. So, using our sticks again, let's see if we can do something like this. If I have a stick here, as I start to, let's say this is somebody's arm, and as I start to guide the power, maybe even before I can trap the power, they start to recoil, right? They're going away that way. As that happens, right, as I'm coming across, if I don't get a chance to deliver the power here, right, the shape that I'm making, I can return and follow them back in, right? So the opponent would look something like this. They're reaching, they start to get lured in, and they come back, and as they're recoiling here, I'm coming up through the center with this movement here to their center, right? So following them back. This is in Tai Chi, we almost always allow the opponent to lead. So even snake creeping down, the power is coming towards us. So we avoid, and then we make contact, and then we advance. If they thwart that, they see that we're going to try to flip them over our shoulder, and they start to recoil, right? From here, this same circular movement with the waist and the forearm, we can follow them and beat them before they can return, right? Because they've already showed signs that they're turning. Okay, we still have the power from snake creeping down, and we're going to recycle that power right into the next movement, right? This is one of the purposes of Tai Chi. Okay, it says we have 15 minutes left. Let's, we may have to move a little bit more quickly. Let's do the same Tai Chi sequence that we started with. So facing west, starting from Tai Chi Harmony, do an actual calibration, starting from the top. Remember as many points as you can, your eyes, your nostrils, half smile, corners of the mouth, tongue connected to the upper palate. Relax your shoulders, straighten your neck, use your center. Tailbone is hiding, lifting the pelvic floor, lifting the inside at the bottom while we're breathing. Making your feet strong and gripping your toes. If you're outside, focus all the way to the horizon. If you're inside, imagine you can see through your walls and your neighbor's walls, and you can see all the way to the horizon. And then from here, take a deep breath. I lower my hands a little bit first, breathing, opening for Lan, Shui. This is Zohua, bend the bar, keeping everything right in front of the dantian. Peel off. Right heel kick. Step back to embrace a tiger. Left, facing east. Big roll back. embrace tiger. Facing west, turning to the southwest, searching for the moon in the sea. Kick, brush, wind blowing in the ears. Step back. We're still facing southwest, pull left, kick left, turning. 2, 3, grip your standing foot, pull right, kick right, turn your square back west, lan, shui, rufo, press, press. We're going to turn back, north, return tiger to mountain. Bring your right foot to the left. Left foot forms a T-step. Right foot steps to the square. Palm press to the center. Breathe deep. Roll back. Press. Push. Left. Glance right. Double press. Horizontal. Split. Hook. Side whip facing east. This is wild horse shaking its mane. 1. Wild horse shaking its mane. Grip your standing foot. Remember to breathe. Yama Fa Zhang, wild horse. Number 3. Square step. Breathe deep to roll back. Press. Push. Left. Glance right. Double press. Horizontal split. Hook. Side whip, we're facing north. 4 corners, number 1. Turning. Corner number 2. Turning. Corner number 3. Turning. Corner number 4. Left, grasp, Jue Bi. Facing east, press to the center. Push. Left. Glance right. Double press. Horizontal. Split. Hook. This is corner whip. This is the first snake creeping down, coming back up to the center, standing on the left foot, Jinji Duli, gripping the right foot, Jinji Duli, repulse the monkey, 1, repulse the monkey, 2, repulse the monkey, number 3. Share Fei. Diagonal flying. Expand. Hai Bi Zhang. Left hand. Left foot. San Pong Bei. Turn and chop with fist. Square step. Lan. Identical to the second section. Shui. Di Bu Hua is fold knees. Shang Bu Li, change step, roll back. Press. Push. Look left. Glance right. Double press. Horizontal split hands, and from here, Bring your feet together. Bring your hands together in the center. Take a deep breath. And relax. So, this week you have a homework assignment. If you don't have a practice every day, sometime between this week and next week's class, you need to practice two things on your own. You can watch a video, you can listen to something, or have material to help you, but have a practice of your own, where you try to practice Tai Chi. Set some time apart, go somewhere private if you don't feel comfortable. And the other one is have a meditation. So take some time to sit, stand. You can lay down as long as you don't fall asleep, and do some meditation. That's your homework for this week. Let's do a little bit of Qigong to cool down. Sort of the reverse of what we did earlier. Breathing deep, gather all of the Qi and compress it to the center. So we can use this Qigong also as a Tai Chi exercise. Once you breathe up, see if you can relax your arms and hands to feel the substantiality of the Qi underneath them, as if it's carrying your arms. Breathing, inflate all the way. Increase your lung capacity. Keep the tongue connected to the right place. And then here, feel everything. Feel the air. Feel the pressure in the atmosphere. Feel the Qi. Make your body so lightweight. Just the arms. You can sink your feet and your tailbone heavy. Go at your own pace. Do two more. And when you finish, return back to Tai Chi Harmony. And when you get to Tai Chi Harmony, put your mind into the center, into the Dantian. And from here, the eyes somewhere between open and closed, with your mind in the center. From here, grip your feet, straighten your neck, connect the tongue, still using the base of the torso with breathing. And we've gone from moving around to moving around a little bit to no movement on the outside. But on the inside, I want you to imagine a lot of movement at the Dantian, at your navel. Like a tractor that's drawing the Qi, like a magnet that pulls the energy in, like a vortex or a whirlpool. But instead of spiraling like a drain that just pulls down directly into the center. Breathing deep. Imagine with each breath the energy expanding in the center. And then move your mind from the Dantian up into the center of your brain, right behind the third eye spot. Take a second and a deep breath to allow your brain to expand and relax, to unroll. Imagine like bread baking and become soft. Take a second to smile to your brain, giving thanks. And then move your mind again back to the center, to your Dantian, closing off these points. Take a long, deep breath, and that's it. Call, text, write with questions.
Thanks, Brian.
All right, cool. Yeah. By the way, we will have there's some new videos that are going up on the website that are not part of this class, so we will be putting those online sometime soon. Look for those.
Cool.
Yeah.
Send a link, right?
What's that?
Send a link.
Yeah. Actually, just go to the YouTube channel. But you know what? I'll email you something because it's cool stuff. So I'll send an email. But for everybody else watching at home, look on the YouTube channel. See you guys.